Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the Free in the Workshop. My name, of course, is Maker Millwright. We are on another surprise Super Sunday. Hope you guys are enjoying it. I like doing these. We normally do these after a Whip Sunday on Twitch. And we're going to paint some models, talk some trash, have some fun. We can go over whatever chat decides. I'm going to paint some models and chill and answer any questions that come up. I hope you're all doing as well as I am. I'm having a wonderful day. It's nice and warm here in Vancouver. So we got some models here that I got to take some photos of, as you can see. I uh, I just designed a new monster known as the Gnarl, and these are the gnarled gearheads. This is the Gnarl. These will be going up on Maker World. These were made from 3DF, what it 3F what F3DM, a Turkish company. I met them when I was at Sanjay Mortimer. They print good. We had some problems with it earlier. Oh, I gotta take photos of these. I'll be back. What can we show you in the meantime? You guys like the hearses? We'll have some hearses on here. These are available already. These are print and place hearses. They were supposed to come down to me in Midwest. We got some wall segments here. I just took photos of wall segments. They need to be posted. And I don't have any minis over here for you guys. But I'm gonna take some photos. We'll chill, and it's all good. This was run on a Bamboo A1 supplied by Bamboo. We also have the mill. We might do some mill design work today. I also have to oil my wood. That's right, you heard me right. I gotta oil my wood. Um, the wood is it's a miniature charcuterie board out of a discount chopping block. Cause making cool stuff out of stuff that already exists is super fun. And I hope you guys enjoy it. Gotta clean up this model, so I'll come chill with you guys for a few minutes. And we make stuff and do things around here. And then we'll do some painting because I have some models prepped, and then I have to prime these ones as well. And we'll give them a little bit of the love. And I hope you guys have some fun with the new models. I hope you guys are enjoying the stuff over on Maker World. I'm a big fan, and we're just working towards new goals. Models are free over on Maker World if you want them. The link is down below. There's also a ton of models over on Thangs. These will end up being paid models, so get them while they're free on Maker World. Because once my challenge goes, these will end up becoming paid models. So I really like the new gear. The Gearhead Gnarl I like much better than I like the Gnarl, but they will have stat blocks in the new book. We're working on a new book for Darkstar Chronicles. The book is now out. You can again, the link is down below. I know, big commercial. I know, annoying, right? But we got to promote where we can promote. We had a wonderful time at Midwest Rep Rap Festival. Shout out to Midwest Rep Rap Festival for always hosting a beautiful and easy to attend event. We had a booth there. It was really nice. I will be honest though, I was walking the floor so much because I have a hard time staying put. And there's not a lot of photos of me, I don't think, but there might be a few out there. If you have any questions about Rep Rap festivals or Maker Cons or Maker Fairs, go ahead and ask them. I would like to do open sauce. Shout out to the team over at Open Sauce. I think it's really cool. I don't know if we could ever get a booth there because I think we're not. I think we're too generic. But that's the new model. I definitely would not want this thing come find me in the dark. So I'm gonna go grab some photos of this. I'll be right back. They go on the Discord. The Discord link is down below. I did update it. Discord seems to reset the link to Discord often. So, oh yeah, I gotta put bases on this too. Some bases here. And we'll prime them up, give them a little bit of paint, and we're good to go. There's a lot of creativity and excitement, and I hope you guys are having fun with it. Because I know I am. I got a little bit of the old rock and roll running here in the background. Listening to that 90s aught music. We'll be here for a couple hours, hang out with you lovely people here on YouTube. Always a pleasure to come over here and entertain for you guys. I gotta do my priming for these models, and then we're good to go. We'll post these. I should post them quick because the challenge is going quickly, but trying to make something new, because that's one of the things that we do here on the channel. We're trying to do anything that other people are doing, trying to source new paths, and it's good times. Oh, I don't have my paint box. Not organized today at all, guys. Maybe that's why it's called Surprise Super Sunday, because the surprise is more me than you. There's all my parts. Oh, that's cool. There's a maker chip hidden in there. Yeah, this is the brand right here. We're going to paint some minis. It's going to be fun. Just get our prime out here. It's 30 degrees, so you got to be careful with higher ambient temperatures where you live. So make sure after you prime your stuff, make sure that you cover it so it doesn't sit directly in sunlight because it'll deform it. And that goes for pretty much all PLA, just so you know. Because you're like, oh, I don't see that. Yeah, you will. So that's what I do is I'll prime something, I'll leave it for a few minutes, let it dry, and then I'll prime it again. But I always cover whatever I'm working on because, again, like I said, the PLA does deform. And we end up priming things 2 or 3 times. Can we flip these guys? Kind of. Yeah, we can kind of get a couple coats on it. I don't have a paint booth or anything like that. Nothing fancy. We ain't fancy like that around here. We just do the things and make the stuff, you know? And remember, the primer, you want to try and get it into everything, but if you can't, that's okay too. It's nothing to get too excited about, you know? My problem is I end up over-priming stuff because I'm so impatient. So impatient. I know. Is it a big deal? No, because the acrylic ends up making up the difference. So. And I'm using Rust-Oleum. That's what I use. Rust-Oleum, what am I using? Rust-Oleum Painter's Touch 2 times. And I will say that when it's warm, man, does that primer dry quick. And again, you're not too worried about it, right? Don't stress about it. It's just painting models, like Bob Ross used to always say, right? Happy little accidents. That's what we're trying to do, right? Just something cool. Because really, you are the art behind it all. The primer just gets there to seal, well, tries to seal the paint so you're not eating as much pigment when you're doing it. I'll have to set a timer for that. So, and then I guess the other thing I'll do while I'm here, we got one here without primer on it, just some brown paint. We're going to probably go with a red brick. I don't know. Gray brick, maybe? I don't know. I got to do the photos. And I think we're going to be back on Twitch tonight for Maker Hoss with Built-Over-Bot. So yeah, welcome in everybody. So I think we'll just get right into it. So I got to move some stuff around on my desk, but then we'll be doing some painting. These we started on Twitch. These are the new Mimic set. They will be in Twisted Spire. Twisted Spire. I still haven't named the planet, but there's a. It's cool. I can read you guys the write up if you want. It's cool. Like I can tell you right now, so far I'm really impressed in the development of this new book. It's pretty, mm, you know what I mean? Double up. And let's see what that camera looks like. Oh, look at that. You can see it. So let's turn this a little bit away from the monitor, and you can see what I'm working on here. So, and as we work through stuff, we just sort of explain and move along. Again, the one thing that you've got to remember is one, because they're 3D printed models, you can reprint them if you really don't like them. Two, just paint them, right? Just paint them and just have fun with them because that's all that really matters. Because anyone who's been painting for any period of time will tell you, man, I think painted models are the way to go. They're just the way to go. They look better than the gray or the pink. These ones were pink in Polymax PLA. Shout out to Polymax for helping that. Oh, Polymaker. And then, yeah, I don't know what we're printing next. I don't have anything legitimate on the docket, but that doesn't mean there isn't something I'm supposed to be printing, right? Again, shake your paint. I know we have a paint shaker in development. I still haven't finished it. We'll get there. So sometimes these bottlenecks will block. So I always keep on my desk a small titanium toothpick. Right? Bottle opener. Toothpick. And that just lets me, right? I think we'll need a little bit more. It's warm today, so our paint's probably going to dry as we work. There we go. You can see they're, pardon me, they're already starting to dry out because how warm it is here. So that's something you have to remember. So I think we'll start with the bigger models, right? These big orbital type objects. Remember, wet your brush, get it soft, right? Because sometimes you get a little bit of paint in there, it gets sticky or whatever. It's not a big deal. And then I just use a little bit of water when I do this, because remember, 2 thin coats is like what you're looking for. If you want to go thicker than that, you go right ahead, but so sorry. See, just a fine layer on there. This is a big thick brush, so we're not too worried about it. If we go past the edge or whatever, we just clean it up with some more brown. But you can see we go to a nice thin layer there. Right. And remember, I'm always telling you guys, like, try for 3 colors. And I know the tendency is to paint everything black, but don't. Because it just blends in and it just starts to, like, be boring. So that's why we did, instead of, like, we do have a war game, skirmish game coming, but we are typically, making something a little bit brighter so it's easier to see. And that's sort of just the jammy jam we work around here. I like the traditional brighter colors because when you paint everything black, like I said, it just blends in. And a lot of the backgrounds, like either the battle mats or your tables, end up being really dark. And everything just washes out. So that's why we do it. This one has some teeth on it. We'll have to paint the inside a dark color like a black or something. For the hunger. Maybe a red? I don't know. We'll see what colors we got. That might end up being its name. The hunger. And what these are is like objects. Monster objects. So they're like living things that will try to eat you. You see, it just starts to cover up, right? You start to get that white and that brown, right? We're gonna do the legs in a bright color because it's fun. So I'm gonna get rid of my big brush. We're gonna go to a smaller brush now. This one is a round 000. These are all off Amazon. No, there's no affiliate link for that. Although there probably should be, but I don't like saying I'm attached to any particular brand, right? And as I said earlier, these are made in Polymaker Polymax PLA, which I actually really, really like doing miniatures in. They don't shatter. So when they get dropped, which they will, because everything always gets dropped, they don't shatter, which is nice. Teethies. Just making sure the details in there. Should be doing a wash on this, but I don't have any washes, so we can't do a wash. We just come in, nothing too serious. If your hands are shaky like mine, just brace them against the table as best you can. And remember, when you're looking at them, put them at arm's length. Always put them at arm's length, because you're like, oh, I don't know. Trust me, when you put them at arm's length, oh, that's not bad at all. We'll be doing a little bit of gold on these, I think, for just to make them pop out a little bit. We picked our colors last week, so I don't know, whatever's on my in my paint stash is what I'm going to be using. Again, this is a game color, bone white. Why bone white on teeth? Because we do the base of the teeth in bone white, and then we highlight with the we'll then highlight using white, just to give it that little more peak look. And since we're not using washes, which I really like, the washes will give you the detail that you can't get. But we'll get through it. Again, just paint, use what you got, right? Be it dollar store, model paints, who cares? It's always going to look cool, no matter what you think. People are going to be amazed at what you're doing. So just do it. Just do it. Just work at it. Yeah, right? And that one's not even, because we're going to paint that one silver. I decided out of the blue I want to paint silver. Actually, some of these pipes, we're going to do some white over that so the silver really pops. I think we're actually using like palladium chainmail or something. I don't know. You can do the little toesies if you want. I think I'd probably do the toesies later. Little tips of the feet. We have another one with pipe? Yeah, we have another one with pipe. But you can do the little tips of the toes because we're gonna do them in a bright green, aqua alchemy by War Painters, and then that'll be a finishing pass that we do. But as you can see, just a little bit of white so that the silver sticks nice. So now you can see that the first models we worked on, dried already. So I'm just going to find a slightly bigger brush, because that first brush we used was way too big. Good for putting a big brush pattern down, but not great for um, see a little bit finer there. We're just going to come in. Do the body first, right? And then we'll do the teeth last. And I don't know what we're going to do for the middle there. Maybe red. That's a little thick, a little too much. Let me just come in. And if you do find you're putting a paint on a little thick, you can actually just wet down your brush, and that'll get you a little bit thinner. And if you see, oh, we're doing the rim, oh well, because we can go in and paint that later with a finer brush and brown again. You know, it's never anything to stress about, right? The whole point of painting is to calm yourself down. Also, happy Father's Day to all the fathers to be, all the fathers that are doing the job, and all the fathers who want to do the job. Shout out to everybody who's putting that time in. Take care of the little ones, they are important to us. I got a little bit of fluff on there. Doesn't matter. No, you can leave that fluff. Boys, come in. Get our clippers in there and just give it a little pull. Just comes out just like that. Not worried about it, right? That's what happens when you don't dry your PLA enough. And as you can see, it dries so fast. Because one, PLA dries fast to start with. And two, it is warm here in the lab. See? We already start to see a change, right? Nice and clean, right? So this could be a big eyeball. It could be, you know, whatever colors, whatever format you want to do. It doesn't matter. This could be a globe. I think when I was designing this originally, it was going to be a globe. But I think I might just draw this as a big giant eyeball. Maybe we'll give it like a beam attack or something. See? Just easy peasy. Nothing to stress about. See? You start to get that color in there, right? So I don't have the bestiary index for this. Just written just yet. But it'll be a thing. These guys won't be too tough. They'll be more of like a fill-in monster. Maybe, I'm thinking somewhere 8 to 12 hit points with a bite or beam attack somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe a D4 plus 2. See how it just starts to pull the model together, and wait till I do the legs, because we're gonna do them in a really bright color. It's gonna be fun. Teefies. And you'll see I have to go back to the water quite often. It's just because it is so warm here. Depending on your situation, depends on if you have to go back to that water as much as I do or not. And white, any type of white is really hard to paint. So if you get a little frustrated with it, that's okay. Don't worry about it. And then again, we're going to probably go over that little pipe again. Because we got lots of white out, right? Might as well. Tempted to do the little toes as well. But basically, as I do this batch painting, which is what this is called, as I do this batch painting, you'll see the first ones start to dry to the point where, oh, I could put another layer on them. Yes, I know, Maker, wait for the paint to dry. I am aware. I get a little impatient. And then I put a couple extra layers on just because. When we start to get real sign of the teeth fees, right? The teeth. So you get the teeth, right? Kind of stand out. But now we can go back to the first ones. It just dries so fast. I should probably go grab those other miniatures that I just primed. Because they'll be dry now. They're going to be over primed, typical, but You see that layer went on a little thick, so we might have to move it around a little bit. Easy peasy. And anytime you're like, oh, I don't know, like I said, just reach out. Out in front of you, right? And take a look at it. Like, oh, that's not bad at all. Exactly. You're right. It's not bad at all. Let's finish up the last few teethies here. Teetherinos. As you see, I got some water built up here on my palette, which is what we want. Grab those other ones. And as you can see, this one the body hasn't been painted yet. It's just the primer plus over the pink. And that's because I think I'm going to do that one metal, the whole box metal. The nice thing about acrylic, as long as you have it a nice, smooth, like soft, when it's not super thick, it's self-leveling. So it'll get into, with a little bit of persuasion, it'll get into all the little cracks and crevices. You gotta sort of get that, right? Alright, just take another look at this guy, because I just don't like it. See, you gotta let the paint dry. Let the paint dry, but there was just a spot there that was bugging me. Right, give me a minute here, I'm gonna go grab the other models. Oh, and they're dry, of course they're dry. A little tacky, but that's okay. It's okay. It looks like the primer didn't get to the underside, which is fine. We're going to paint that anyway. We might paint that a dark, we might paint that a bright. I'm not sure. Oh, they're out of camera. Oh, you can't see them. Haha, sneaky. Sneaky, sneaky. So, I think it's time, because we can mess with the color of white later. We're not worried about it. I do my best to do as much blocking for you guys, which is like where you paint it in chunks. So that is... Oh, that camera's not very good. It's Aqua Alchemy from War Paint Fanatics. But I like how bright that is. I do. So we're going to go with the fine brush on this one, though, because we're trying to get into all the little nooks and crannies, right? We're trying to avoid any white in it, if we can. So I'm just cleaning my brush really well. It's going to be a hot summer, I can tell you right now. It's this hot in June. August is going to be hot. So you can see he's got little leggies underneath, right? This is a little thick. And you can tell. Like, you might be like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, you can tell. And with the acrylic, you can just kind of push the color around, right? These guys print with very little tree support. It's just because the bottom is round. If I'd made the bottom flat, needed as much supports, but I don't presume to know how you guys are going to put your models, because they're all on removable bases, right? All the bases are printed separately, so you can pick and choose. Just because I supply a style of base doesn't mean that's the one you have to use. So you can see a little bit of green in there. We might sneak some of this green onto the other models because there's so much of it. I put too much out. Oh, I'm out of frame there. Sorry about that. Could you paint the toes the same color? Yeah, you can. I think we're gonna end up doing them bone white, just like the tops. But you can see as I touch it, it's dry. And if you get some on the base like I just did, not a big deal because we're gonna paint the bases separately, right? But look at that, we're already into 3 colors. See, not that hard. Not that big a deal. So if we go and highlight, just with these 3 colors, if we chose to go and highlight, we're already there. And remember, we could pour a little bit of brown into that white, and that would give us our highlight color if we really wanted to. It looks like I missed some spots of the primer. Oh no! Let's paint over it. Not a big deal. Bob Ross used to always say, happy little accidents. You don't have to paint on bases. I just paint on bases because I find it easier to do. I find it easier for me to handle the model. Oh, it's too thick. Then we got the little green feeties underneath. Yeah, I think we'll do the toes. That white we'll be able to revitalize it. That's why I use parchment paper. So parchment paper is baking paper. So if you're making cookies or whatever, it's the same stuff. I actually really like parchment paper. I don't know where it comes from. I don't know much about it, but I do a little baking here in the lab. Actually, I have to make some jam. You could paint these models in Slicer if you really wanted to. Didn't want to paint them by hand, you could paint them in Slicer and paint them in whatever colors you choose, right? Should we just do a whole box in the green? I know I did say we were going to do it in like a metal, but I kind of think we should do it in the blue-green. Let's do that and see what it looks like. Because we can always paint over it, right? It's not a big deal. It's just because we got lots of the blue-green left. Sure. It's a weird color. It's fun. Even paint over the hinges, because if we want, we can go back and paint the hinges with some color, which we'll probably do. But you can see I'm using a big brush here, because I'm not worried about it. Now I'm worried about it, but now my big hands won't fit. I think it's a start, because we can do whatever we want with that afterwards, right? So now I think we're going to revitalize that white, so we're going to have to add some water to it. Remember, try to clear your brushes as best as you can, right? So you still got a little bit of paint on the end of it, but that's okay. I'm not worried about it. Still got a little blue in there. You can test, right? So you just take your brush, dip it in water, and rub it on the parchment paper. If it comes clear, that's you're good to go. If it doesn't come clear, you gotta wash it a little bit more. So you can see here, this has kind of gotten a little dried, a little harder to use, but that's okay. We just take some of that water, bring it back to the energy we want, and remember, because it's white, we gotta do fine layers with it, and we can touch up anywhere that we want. So I got a really small brush here. And there's a little toes, and they just start to pop out, and that's kind of what we want, right? Am I missing chat? Oh, let me see here. Have I been missing chat? Have you guys said something? No, you guys been quiet, right? Yeah. You guys are quiet in chat. That's okay. It's okay, guys. No worries. I'm glad you like the painting. And yeah, we'll have to do a couple coats. But that toes, they really start to pop out. I know our white is already pretty wet, but we're gonna do it anyway, right? Little toes. Just adds that little touch, you know. These models were designed in Tinkercad. All my models are designed in Tinkercad. Well, some of them are now down in WOMP, but atypically I design everything in Tinkercad so you can do it too. Because I want you guys out there making and doing, and I don't want you to feel limited by your skill set. Tinkercad will teach you really quickly, and you can get into, if you want to do other programs, you're more than welcome to, right? But that's where I teach stuff is Tinkercad because I think Tinkercad gives you the ability to do something different. Just a little bit of toesies. Yeah, I'm surprised. If we had done them in green, it would have just blended right in. It wouldn't have been that great. But now that we're doing it in this bone white, which is like an off-white, kind of a yellow white, it really did pop out. So it really does make them stand out. You can like even on the camera when with the bad focus, you can see it. Oh, we got one more. Oh, we didn't paint this guy green. We'll have to do that. I totally missed him. Well, let's get some of that green on there then. I'm not sure what we're gonna paint the bases in though. We'll do a black edge like we typically do. And then remember, pull that paint out if you can. that easy. It's not. I find that people like to overthink it. I don't. Because again, if I don't like them, I can just go repaint them, or I can go and print new ones, right? Remember, we try to keep our models down to about an hour, hour and a half print time. So it just makes them easy. And they're like less than 4 grams of filament. Sometimes up to 8, but not very much. Really, you know, leave shadows, don't leave shadows, up to you. Maybe they shoot lightning. Maybe that's what I'll have them do. When I look at that, I'm like, maybe that shoots lightning. Try to get that inside. There we go. There we go. Sorry. Get that inside there. If we're worried about that, there we go. So I think maybe we'll change over to the gold. I don't know, what do you guys think? Maybe the gold. I don't know what we're doing for the bottoms. I don't want to do brown. I am tempted by red. Well, that's a rust effect. That's a red. We could do red for the floor. We've been doing a lot of orange and red floors lately, though. Let's do yellow. Yeah, we'll do sun yellow and then we'll mute it down. But I think we're going to start with the gold. Just do the banding and stuff. I don't know where his base went. But even that's pretty cool. Even with the off colors and stuff. I don't know, does this one have a ball bearing in it? I don't think it does. Some of these ended up with ball bearings in them, which I thought was pretty cool. Helps mix the paint. Oh, there you go. You can hear it. Broke free of all the pigment. Let's do silver instead. Because we can use silver at the pipe and stuff. And that just saves us one color change. Plus, we can always put the bright gold over the silver to get that glow. So this is plate mail metal from Wargame paints. And actually, I'm going to do that blue again. I do wish I had glued it to a base, though. Yep, I'm still going to use that big, super oversized brush. See that acrylic starts to dry out a little bit. Gets a little thick, so you just get some water on your brush. And yeah, I use dirty paint water. It looks like mud right now. I like that. I like that color, so it's kind of hard to say no to it, you know. Just come in here, some silver down. All right, we can do the hinges. And then remember that pipe we painted white earlier? Just put some silver on that. Maybe we'll make that floor yellow. You see this one doesn't have any markings on it, so we're just going to do the hinges. A little bit of water on that. There is some people who will not mix metallics and non-metallic wash bins or whatever you want to call them, wash cups. I don't care that much. I think it doesn't matter. But I do see their point because you end up with a little bit of that metallic transfer sometimes. So if you're working something very, very specific, right? And we got no silver on that one. We got a little bit of silver on this one. Just doing that pipe. And again, I'm just blocking so I can sort of decide. Let's do silver teeth on this one. I was going to do like bone, but I think I'm going to do silver just for fun. Maybe this one ate too many adventures and their armor made his teeth silver. That could be a thing, right? Why not? We make the rules, right? Do the whole inside silver, why not? Can you see that? Little teeth. Little teethies. And since we got a lot of silver left, I think maybe I'll just do one of these ones with some silver and see what it looks like. Because I haven't picked the color profiles for these yet. But these are biomechanical machines known as gnarls. And they inhabit sort of like, they're often found in like factories, like old decommissioned factories, leftover facilities from the outsiders. Um, the worker bots end up dealing with gnarls quite a bit because well, and I guess the Void Fang deal with them too, because the Void Fang are always trying to find as much outsider technology as they can. But it is amazing, like just by adding a little bit of color, you can change the model so much, which I happen to really like, right? Right? And actually, we might have enough blue left, or blue-green, to just look at the limbs, maybe do one or two of the limbs and see what it looks like. Let's try that. Let's see what happens. So I'm going to go to a fairly bigger brush, but not that big one I was just using. That big one's all worn out. But let's see what this looks like. So we ended up using up all that silver, right? Just come in here. That's still too thick. And you'll see, because you'll be like, oh, this isn't spreading very easy. And that's probably the first step to knowing, like, oh, this paint is way too thick right now. You can see this stuff's getting a little dry. Ooh, it's break time. I know. Let the paint dry. I know. And what we can do for easy use is cut these rails off. These rails were added during the manufacturing process to make them easier to stick to the build plate. Trim them away. Right. I should take my break. And I just come in. It's just a little bit of the modeling experience. You know, think we're almost out of this blue, so be a good time to take a break. Something like that. I don't know. Looks good to me. So yeah, I'm gonna take my break. I'll come back. We'll probably do the bases in yellow. I don't know. We might end up using some yellow on this for the dots or the eyes or whatever. But you can see we sort of progressed. And we can touch things up. We can leave it be. It's fine. And we'll go from there. Alright, guys. I need to take my break. I will be back in 3 to 5 minutes. And YouTube, here on YouTube, when you're watching the VOD, today's secret word is star. Star. Alright, guys. I'll be back soon. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to some more time here on the Free Heathen Workshop. We're into Super Sundays, just for you YouTubers. I like that idea of pink. I will see if my pink is still good. This is the pink I have. It's a little bit dry. This is P1 formula. This P1 is, I believe, the old formula for War Machine. Yeah, we can do pink. Why not? Oh, I think it's gone bad. Let's see. Let's take our big, massive tipped brush. Nice and get it wet. Yeah, we got it wet. Good. Let's see if we can get some other. I have to get some more paints. Ooh, buddy, we might have some. Yeah, looks like we got some. So this is like almost like a fleshy pink, bubblegum pink, sort of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wring this brush out on my palette and see if we can get some of that pink left over. I think we do. And we'll probably be able to pull some more. So we're going to take a smaller brush and let's see it. Let's see how it goes. It sounds good. Yeah, we got some pink on there. Yeah, we got some pink. We can try. So we'll just come in, and you can see here, like, we got the pipe in there and whatever, right? So we'll just come in here, and we'll just gently go at it. Pink definitely is not traditionally what I would paint a base, but hey, why not, right? We can do whatever we want. There are models. Does wash out the colors a little bit, but that's okay. Maybe we'll highlight with some white or something. Turn this light on because I can't see. There we go. And we'll edge it with black, so if we overpaint a little bit, it's not a big deal. Yeah, pink was a good idea. I like that. We'll have to do a couple coats because it's so thin, but that's okay. I definitely wouldn't traditionally paint a base pink. But you can use that to denote things like, oh, these ones are this faction, or they're this, they have this much health, or whatever you want. It's just again, they're just proxies, so it doesn't really matter, right? My music quit. Hold on. Perfect. Which is funny because these bases were like a darker version of this pink. Easy peasy. Yeah. That's one thing I really, really like about acrylic. You can bring it back. We'll have to try and get some more of that lumpy pink out because I think we're gonna have to do a couple of coats here, but Oh, that's a good idea. I like that. I like that. Get the brim where we can. There's like a slat type look on these tiles. So I'm just trying to follow the direction of the slat. That gray is leaving like a heavy shadow, which is nice. Gives us a little bit of depth. With lighter colors, you always want to try to use a white background. But I like the shadowing it's producing through the pink because the pink is so thin. The hairs on my brush were getting a little clogged there. Oh, I don't know if that'll work. Try it. Let's see if we can pull some more of that paint out. Just do the best with what you got. Don't ever worry about it. Especially stuff I design. I want you just to enjoy it. Don't worry about it. You can always do more. I do recommend you paint. It's good for you. And then I have to see if I have a black. Just to finish up that edge. I like it. The pink was a good idea. Might need a little bit more on this one. Because we're getting some shadowing through on the gray. But yeah, these were originally made in Polymaker, as you can see. Polymaker Pink. Polymax Pink. Now, do I have a black available? There I do. Oh, that one's dry. Yeah, I'll be over there when I can build a robot. We got another 15, 20 minutes. We might end early. Chat's been super quiet today. So when chat's super quiet, the streams end up a little shorter. There we go. See, I've got black. I've got black. I got dollar store black. For those just watching now, I do a podcast on Sundays called Maker Hoss with Built Over Bot over on Twitch. And then what I do is just use a larger brush, but I can clean these ones up. I just pick out the one I like. Again, I tell you guys, don't overthink it. I don't overthink it. So I do know that with this black, though, it's really thick. So I need to pull it out. So you'll see here, I pull the paint out until I get to the thickness I'm looking for. And then I just come around and do the rim. And because the pink is so bright and the paint is so thin, definitely have to do 2 passes. But me, I don't like to hide the fact that it was 3D printed. So sometimes you'll see colors poke through and stuff. And that's like, I do that intentionally. Because I really love that these are 3D printed models. I think that's so cool. We live in such a cool time. We gotta be careful because the toesies are hanging out on this one. Little things. Just come in if we miss a spot or whatever. See? Get a little black rim on it. Perfect little black edge. Perfect. Worked out great. I love it. Just perfect, guys. So that's set. I'll do a base for that blue one just for funsies, right? And that's it, man. That's Super Sunday. We came on, painted some models. We got some other models started up. I like that blue. We'll have to do more blue on there. And we'll pick our 3 colors. We might denote like one different than the others. That way you could have like a specialty one or whatever. We'll just paint the gears different color or something. Easy, easy, right? It's all game design. But in general, yeah. So remember, leave a comment, like, and share. Tell people about it. The book is available down below if you are interested into Darkstar Chronicles. We are working on Twisted Spire, which is the newest. It'll be the newest source book in the future. I know I'll be talking about this forever because it takes me forever to write a book. But we have the new models. I'm not sure if I'm going to release the new models without the book or not. But yeah. So before I go today, of course, I need 3 things from you. 1, keep your chin up. You can't see the world staring at your feet. 2, protect your neck. I don't want you to lose your head. And 3, just build, build, build. Remember, you matter and you are loved. Thank you all for tuning in. Please, again, like I say, like, share, subscribe, all of that business. Leave me a comment if you got questions, comments, and concerns. All of these models were designed by me. They were all designed in Tinkercad. And please, just go out there and add to the world. Build some stuff and do some things. Enjoy this outro by Solar 3DP.
Well, that's it. I really hope you enjoyed it. We had a ball.